Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Lori here. Today I am going to take a detour from my typical haul or what sold video to talk a little bit about some growing pains that I'm having with my Poshmark business. I love this new venture that I am on. I have been reselling on Poshmark since August of 2018, so I'm a relative newbie to this business. But I feel like I've grown pretty quickly, and this week I hit a new milestone that I don't think I was really looking to hit, and that is that I have 600 live listings. My goal was to hit 500 live listings, which I hit, I don't know, maybe 5 weeks ago. And I was really excited about that because with 500 live listings, I was seeing daily sales, between 4 and 5 on average sales per day, maybe 3 to 4. My weekly sales have been pretty much consistently around the $700 mark, going anywhere up to $992 is my best week. And then like a slower week is around 500. So I was really looking forward to hitting that 500 mark. And then out of nowhere, I saw that I was at 600. And then I kind of had to take a step back and say, where do I really want this to be? Because sharing is such a huge part of Poshmark, and I'm really good about it. I think my self shares in the past 30 days is at 49,000 self shares. So I'm really good about that. But with 600 listings, I was finding myself completely overwhelmed. Has anybody else ever felt that way before? So I'm kind of at this crossroad with my business where I feel like I need to take a step back and look at where I want to go with this. If this is a video you think you're interested in, please stick around. You can hit the thumbs up button for me. This is going to be all about resellers, ideas, and tips on how to tweak your Poshmark closet. So if you're interested, we will get right into it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now is I am going to give you my top 10 ideas to tweak my own personal Poshmark business. These ideas may or may not work for you, depending on where you are at with your business right now or where you wanna be. For me, I think I have decided that between 550 and 600 listings for Poshmark would be my max number. It's a number that I'm comfortable sharing every day. It's a number that I feel my items are quality. What is happening, because now I think I'm at about 620, as I was looking at all of my listings, you may know this feeling. There are certain things like I dread seeing it even pop up. I'm like, I'm so sick of this, or that picture is so bad, or what was I thinking? There are those listings. And then, there are listings that you love to look at and they still haven't sold. So it's just a matter of what works for you. I wouldn't say that I have like a curated closet or any specific style, which may be good or bad. It's just where I'm at right now. But to give you the top 10 ideas that I have thought of for my own business, the number one thing that I'm planning to do is pull some brands. So right now I'm at 620. I want to get to about 550. So that means no sourcing for a bit, which is really hard for me because I love sourcing. I'll talk a little bit more about that later in the video. But so number one, just to give you some specifics, some brands that I like, they maybe not be my style, but I'm thinking about, I am going to pull the following brands. Lori Goldstein, Logo, I think that is a shopping network brand. Really nice quality stuff, not moving in my Poshmark closet. I have one Coldwater Creek item that I tried, tested the waters, not moving. Chico's, not moving. J. Jill, I think I've sold one J. Jill piece since I opened in August. And Talbot's. Those are the brands that I would consider a more mature audience, and I feel like they may do better on eBay. If you've been watching my videos, you've seen that I've been pretty resistant to working on eBay, which is ironic because that is where I started. I was a reseller on and off for probably the past 5 years, and I didn't get really serious about it until this past August. And I only sold on eBay and Craigslist. So moving things back to eBay has been a process. When I started in August, I thought that was going to be my main platform. And I bought the base level store. So I'm paying $25 a month, and I currently only have 26 listings on eBay, which is pretty sad by standards. When I started, I had upwards of like 60 or 70. And as I loved the Poshmark app more and more, my eBay store got less and less, but I'm seeing a need for both right now. That could change. Ideally, in my perfect world, I would have everything on Poshmark, and that would just be everything for me. And I could actually do that, but I need to tweak it a little bit. So I'm in my contract with eBay until August, and I feel like I owe it to myself to give this last push to try to keep my eBay store open and see how I do managing 2 platforms on a more consistent basis. So those are the brands. Eileen Fisher is a brand that I've done well with on Poshmark. It sits a little bit sometimes. I've had a few pieces. So Eileen Fisher, I'm not sure about. I might list them on both. So to start, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move them all over to eBay and probably still leave them in my Poshmark closet for about a week or 2. And then I'm gonna delete all of those brands off of my Poshmark closet. Those are probably like maybe 20, 25 listings. But going forward, I won't be purchasing those for my Poshmark closet. If I see a really good piece, I'll still pick it up and put it on eBay, but that's my number 1. So to move certain labels to eBay. I'm also going to eliminate kids from my Poshmark closet. I've probably only sold 4 kids items, and they go for a lower dollar amount, but I do find really cute things when I'm out there, and I have a hard time saying no to nice quality items. So I do pick up kids things, but I think I'm gonna just put them over to eBay. So that'll be about 15 listings. So between those 2 moves, that'll take me down from like 620 or wherever I'm at right now to under 600, which is great. I'm also going to list on both platforms some of my men's shoes like Keen, Rockport, LL Bean. Those are brands that I think will do better or at least the same on eBay. I like to keep my shoes on Poshmark because shoes can be expensive to ship, but I'll just have to charge shipping and move those over. So that's number 1. That was a long one. They're not all this long. Okay, the second thing that I'm going to do to eliminate some of my listings is to start lotting items. Specifically for my closet, I am going to, you know, those freebie bags that you get from Victoria's Secret. I probably have 4 or 5 of them, and I have them listed separately at the $25, at a $25 price. They were free. Would I take $15 if I got that as an offer? Absolutely. But I'm not getting any offers on my Victoria's Secret bags, free with purchase bags. So I think I have 4 of those. I'm gonna put them all together and lot them. I'm also gonna do this with any LuLaRoe items that I have. I'm also going to do it with some American Eagle pieces. I'm specifically thinking of denim shorts. My daughter grew out of a bunch of them. I think I have 8 or 10 pairs of denim American Eagle shorts that I'm gonna lot 2 or 3 at a time. Bras, I want to lot together, and the Lori Goldstein, the logo stuff that I'm also planning on putting on to eBay. I have like 5 or 6 of her pieces, and I'm gonna lot those together. So that's number 2. So put things in lots. And this is just, it will also keep my average sale per transaction up. If I'm lotting things together, it will just, you know, this is like cleanup, spring cleaning for my Poshmark closet. The third thing is to just pull bad listings, to reflect back on those items that I hate to even see pop up. If it's not making you happy, then it's not worth listing, in my opinion. Again, everybody has a different why they do this. So for me, if it's not making me happy, I'm pulling it. Sometimes I feel like I need to go the distance. Like, I bought this, I'm gonna steam it, I'm gonna go for it and try it. And even when I know every step of the way it wasn't the best purchase, I'm just gonna take it away. And for anything that I purchased at the bins, I thought I would pull it all and then weigh it, maybe to make myself feel better, because maybe I'm pulling 10 or 15 items and I'm feeling really guilty about it. But in all reality, if I bought those at the Goodwill bins, they probably cost me $9.50, and I'm sharing them 3-4 times a day, breaking my neck to try to sell them, and it's just not worth it. Redonate it, call it a day. That's my plan. So pull the bad buys. I also have holiday sweaters that are still listed, like ugly sweaters or lawns of Salzburg, flannel pajamas, red tartan plaid flannel robes. Like, those things are actually nice things. And I know everybody says you can sell things all year long, but I don't know. I'm not really enjoying sharing an ugly sweater 4 times a day in March. It's not making me happy. So I think for that, I'm just gonna put it as a not for sale and kind of bury it within my sold listings on Poshmark. And then that way I won't have to like do a relist come the holiday season. I just might put it back over into the sales. Does that make sense? So again, and that will bring my numbers down. Another reason I'm trying to get my numbers down is because I love to source. And when I looked at like having over 600 items, I thought to myself, like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna share 1,000 items a day? I'm actually really good about listing. So I list on average, between 5 and 10 items per day. That is easy for me. I don't mind listing. I love shopping. I like taking the photographs. So I think that's why when I hit that 600 number, I was like, oh my gosh, I looked at my office that was full of unlisted inventory that I still need to list. I'm like, do I really want to share 800 items a day? And yesterday I was watching Denali El Ducho. If you're not following her, she's great and she's super easygoing. She sells just about everything, and her primary source of her product is from the bins. And so she was live. So I said, Denali, how many listings do you have live? Because this has been kind of weighing on me. And she was like, haha, I have too many. Go check out my eBay closet. So when she said eBay, I thought, maybe she doesn't have as many listed on Poshmark. So I went over to her eBay and she had, I don't know, I can't remember. I want to say it was like something like 2,100 or 1,200. I don't know. It was in the thousands and I was blown away. But then I thought, you don't have to share on eBay. So really, you can have 5,000 things on eBay if you have that level of a store, and it can just sit because you don't have to share. So, you know, there's pros and cons to both platforms, but that was kind of an aha moment to me where I was like, well, if I was on eBay, I could just leave things and not have to share them. Maybe I just want to make my Poshmark closet, tighten it up a little bit. I'm not like at the point where I'm going to sell like real specific items, but you know, the stuff that I like or the stuff that I know that will sell, I want to be able to focus on. And then another interesting thing, I'm kind of all over the place with this, sorry. My daughter and her friends, she had a party last weekend in the basement with just some friends, just a little small gathering with some friends. And they always go into my office and they take pictures for Instagram and stuff because I have a great setup. And Angie's like, you know, my friends were looking through your stuff and they were saying, who is her target audience? And so Angie's like, Mom, who is your audience? Because some of the stuff you buy is so random. So I said, well, I've actually given that a little bit of thought. And I think my target audience is like suburban moms or middle-aged moms, maybe not necessarily suburban, with teenage daughters, because that is kind of what I'm around. I have the styles that I love. And then there are the styles that look better on me. This is horrible to say, but I always feel that like if my ideal wardrobe doesn't necessarily suit my lifestyle. So there's the stuff that I really love and admire. There's the stuff that's practical for me. There's the typical Madewell, Lululemon, styles that Patagonia that everybody likes to find. And then there's kind of like that edgy hipster wannabe in me that I see through my daughter and her friends, and you know, the crop tops and the high-waisted mom jeans and the 90s vibe and all that stuff. So I am a bit all over the map, but I feel like I list on my closet things that I would buy for my family. So sometimes I see great menswear that I would like for my husband or my sons, and so on and so forth. So I don't necessarily have a great target audience. That could be part of my growing pains. but I'm learning as I go. So I'm kind of sharing my struggle with you. And please, at any point, if you have any tips or comments, please comment below. Let me know if you're experiencing some of these same issues, because it's nice to support one another, and that's what I'm here for. Okay, number 4, I've even lost track of my numbers. So one of the things I've thought about too is when you look at all these amazing resellers out there, like Street Savvy and El Ducho and Empty Hanger, I think does all of her stuff, but a lot of these people have a lister. So I can't expect to do as many hauls as some of these bigger names who we watch and admire, because I am listing everything. So unless I want to hire a lister so that I can go do more shopping, I need to curb my sourcing trips. So one of the things that I've decided to do is not have a lister, but I have a sweet dad who is home and retired, and he is going to start sharing my closet for me. He told me if I buy him a few mass lottery scratch tickets a week, he would do it. So he's so sweet. I plan on giving him more than that. But there are people who share on Instagram. I can't remember the name, but she shares a closet of 500 or less for $50 a week. That's a lot of money, I think. But when you think about it, if you have 500 listings, it takes you almost an hour to share. I mean, unless you're really only sharing, then I could probably do it in like 40 minutes. But it's really valuable time that I'm spending sharing. So I'm going to make an arrangement with my dad to share for me when he can. It's going to be very low pressure, but that's what I'm doing because I can't afford a lister, nor do I really want a lister at this point. I like doing my own listings. I'm not ready to let go of that yet. But that may be an option. Get a lister, get someone to share your closet. My mom helps me like with treating some of my clothing. She'll come and she'll grab things and do simple like hems or stitches or stain removal so that I can list more. So try to source the things that maybe you don't love doing or that you can source. So that's another one of the ways I'm going to tweak is to get someone to share my closet. So thanks, Nunu. That's my dad. The next one's pretty quick. It's quality versus quantity. I think anybody in this business may struggle with this when you're out and you see something that is a great deal, and it may even be the cutest thing on earth. If it's not necessarily a brand that's gonna sell, you may have to pass on it. Sometimes style trumps brand, and sometimes brand trumps style. You have to make that decision, but for me, I need to focus more on quality versus quantity because let's face it, I have the numbers. I need to tweak it. I need to bring it in or pull the reins in, Lori. So quality versus quantity, that's number 5. Number 6 is to pull from my own closet, which a lot of people start this business by pulling everything from their closet. I did not start that way because I am a shopper. I was excited to start sourcing immediately. I am, however, constantly pulling from my own closet, and I actually have a lot of nice pieces. Sometimes I go sourcing, I'm like, stuff in my closet is better than the stuff I'm seeing at Goodwill. Sell what I'm not wearing. But it's the thrill of the hunt for me. So that is a struggle constantly. So I am gonna pull from my own closet consistently. Maybe I should like say, 10 items from my closet a week that I wanna list. That would maybe be like a good start. So that was number 6, pull from my own closet. Number 7 is a quick one too. List what I have on all my racks. Just list the things that I have. So as I'm pulling and moving things to eBay and deleting bad listings, I'll be listing the things that I already have on my shelf. Another thing is to pay closer attention to trends and actually go back to stores. For someone who is such a shopper, I'm only at Goodwill and Savers and the bins and consignment stores, I feel lately. I went to Target last night and I was like, I felt like a fish out of water. Like I haven't been in a real store in a while. And I mentioned somewhere in my Instagram stories, my son is having Parents Weekend at Penn State this weekend. And he is hosting it for his fraternity, and it's, what is the theme? Aspen in the 80s. So I have been on the hunt to find Aspen. Maybe I do need to go out to the bins out in Denver and try to find something that would be Colorado-ish. So I've been looking for neon. I ended up finding a men's MTV classic t-shirt that I'm gonna wear and with like a neon knit cap and stuff. But anyway, I was at Target and they actually had a lot of cute stuff, a lot of like vintage looking t-shirts that I'll find at Savers, and I might price them at $25 because I think they're so cool and vintagey looking. And then I go to Target and it's there for $12.99 new with tag. So I need to stay in touch and make sure that what I'm listing items for is actually matching the market value, which also leads me to another thing, which is, am I pricing things too high? I tend to price high because of all the lowball offers you get on Poshmark, but I continue to try to find that sweet spot that's enough cushion, that gives me a good profit, that makes all of the time that I put into a listing worth it, but not too much that I'm pricing myself out of other things. So you can always look at sold listings in particular categories. I did that recently for a pair of Madewell jeans. I'm like, what is this style, actually selling for? So those are some tricks. You can look at sold listings on certain categories, go online, see what things are selling for, see the promotions that J. Crew is running or Anthropologie is running, and just, stay current, I guess, is that. Number 9, I have demonstrate self-control. I guarantee this is the toughest one for me. I was going to have thrift-free February. I had like kicked around that idea with one of my best friends, and then I posted a haul and she messaged me, so much for thrift-free February. And I was like, yes. And I never say it out loud because I think I know in my heart I could never just not thrift, because that's what I love about this. But what I am going to try to do, we have a policy in my house because I have an affinity for mugs. My husband has a 1 in, 1 out policy because we just have a cabinet full of mugs. Love coffee, love mugs, love the culture, always buying new mugs. And it's like a joke. So if I come home with a new mug, he's like, well, which one are you retiring? Which one's going to Salvation Army? So that's kind of a joke, but I feel like I should apply that to my business. So if I sell 20 items this week, then I will give myself permission to maybe buy 20 items. What I really need to do is not shop at all for at least 4 weeks and just go through what I have. But realistically, that's probably not going to happen. So demonstrating self-control would be really good for my business, but we'll see, And then number 10, for me, is to have more of a social media presence. I want to, add to my story more often. I notice all the time whenever I do just a good old fashioned Instagram post, it doesn't even have to be exciting. When I do all my hashtags and whatnot, my followers always go up. Maybe it's only by 3 or 5 people, but when I post, I get more followers. When I add to my story consistently with things that people want to hear, I get more followers. When I do haul videos or post on, what's that place? YouTube. I get more followers. So I need to keep doing that. It's one of my goals to grow my business. So I haven't done a What Sold Wednesday video. I actually filmed 2 really good ones and got all caught up in the editing and blah, blah, blah. I won't bore you with that, but I need to get better at YouTube. Big goal of mine, more social media presence. So that's a wrap. Those are my top 10 tips to tweak my Poshmark business. I plan on doing a follow-up in about a month and let you all know how I'm doing. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and feel free to hit the subscribe button below. I just hope you enjoyed it. Please leave me some comments. Let me know what your struggles are. Give me some tips on how you're tweaking your Poshmark or eBay business, and we can help each other. So thanks so much for watching. Make it a great day. Bye.